All right, guys, so today I am pretty excited because I've been working nonstop on my camper, but today to break things up a little bit, we're going to be opening a brand new toy that I got from a company called Movcan. Now, this thing is an e-bike that I plan to carry on the back of my truck when I go on overlanding trips. So today I'm going to unbox it, I'm going to assemble it, I'm going to give you any tips and tricks that I learn along the way, and then in the end, we're going to take it on a trip. We're going to see how it does off-road, and we're going to test it out. So if you want to learn about a budget-priced, under $1,000 e-bike with long range and off-road capability, stay tuned to hear more on the Movcan.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, so after initial unboxing, I'm seeing some really nice stuff. I'm going to kind of walk you around this thing and just show you the included stuff that they throw in with the bike, a lot of which are super useful, especially if you're like me and you're kind of thinking of taking this for like long distance off-roading trips where you kind of want to set up your camp and then be able to still be mobile. I'm also picturing like overland expos and things like that I go to quite a bit, where again, my truck will be all set up with the camper and everything. My awning would be deployed, my rooftop tent would be out. And then I could hop on this thing just to kind of move around the event. There are a bunch of nice features once I get it all together. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you in action. And I'm going to talk a little bit about who I think this makes sense for and what the use case may be for a bike like this. So let's walk through some of the nice things that are included with it as we continue to unbox it. And I'll give you kind of my initial thoughts on it as we go. Everything came through really nice. The only thing that was sort of a little bit smushed is this tire here. You can kind of see it's kind of bent up, but it doesn't have any air in it. So we're just going to put air in it, and I'm sure that will just iron itself out as we fill that up with air. Make sure that both are topped off. We've got this whole box that I've not opened yet that I'm assuming is all the hardware and all the little miscellaneous bits. One thing that I really like about this bike, and again, I'll show this in action later, is it comes with a front tray. So I've had one other e-bike that had a similar range, similar top speed, but it didn't have any of the ability to hold things. And I cannot tell you how much of a pain it was, especially at like expos and stuff, where I'd be carrying a little bit of camera gear or like a backpack or something like that. I couldn't get anything to attach to the bike. There was no way to attach anything. This thing is a carbon steel frame, super, super sturdy, weighs about 98 pounds. So just from a weight standpoint, very similar to a lot of the other dual battery e-bikes that I've had in the past. All right, so as I continue to sort of unbox this thing, one note is, as soon as I put air in that tire, all those little wrinkles smoothed out, just like I sort of figured they would. Do need to put air in the back tire still. But just looking over everything you get this really nice toolkit with pretty much everything that you need to assemble the bike or service the bike. And it comes in this nice little zippable toolkit. So you could keep this somewhere on the bike or, you know, in my case, in my truck, so that if I need anything, I'll have it in, say, a drawer system back there. You get these rear pegs, which I love. I've never really thought about that before. My other e-bike that I had did not have the rear pegs, but I cannot tell you how many times I've been, say, at a buddy's campground and I want to leave there and go back to my campground and somebody says, give me a ride, and there's just no way to do it, you know? So having the rear pegs means I can take a passenger with me. And then this front tray allows me to set a backpack on it or set a little bin or strap gear to it. So if I want to move stuff from one place to another, that makes this bike way more usable than any of the e-bikes that I've had before. So they do give you two different chargers. Now, the thing about this is that they are for the independent batteries. So each battery, I believe, is slightly different. So that way you can't mix up which is which, but then you can use this to charge each battery independently so that they both get a full charge. Then, of course, you get your fender. As I mentioned, they have this little air pump. I probably won't use that because I have a compressor, but not everybody has a built-in compressor in their vehicle. So it's nice to have something like that that's portable that you can take with you. So if you get a flat tire, get a low tire, and you need to put air in it, you can do that. So now let's continue to put this thing together. It's mostly assembled already. So basically we just have to put the front wheel on and the handlebars and then the fender and this little tray. And of course the kickstand, the foot pedals, and the rear standing pedals. And then we'll be done. All right, guys, so I've got the bike mostly together. I've got it on the charger. I'm going to walk you through some tips and tricks of things that I learned, but I was having a heck of a time with the tray. When I got it, this was the long part here was actually mounted to the bottom of this with this one bolt and nut. And I was like, how does this mount, right? Because it was like kind of facing back the long ways. I'm like, surely it doesn't go up through this random hole in the middle and then the bolts drop down through these, right? So what you actually do is you pull it off. If yours comes assembled with the long portion attached flat to the bottom of this, you take that off. And then what you're doing is you're basically making a support, right? So that support is going to go right down here behind your light. You're going to move these cords out of the way up here. But then there is a hole right back there. If you can see that hole right there, there's going to be a bolt that goes through there and then through this slotted portion on the front, and then that's what's going to hold that to the sort of the forks in the middle and give it support. Then these top two up here are going to go with bolts and nuts through those two holes. So I'll do that here and then I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so just a brief update on what I figured out so far. So you get 2 longer bolts, which I'm using up here on the top. You get a couple of shorter bolts, one of which was holding this support bracket in, and then there was a second one. So in a little plastic bag, there were 2 long ones, these ones up here, and then 1 short one, which is the second of these that you use to connect this. So this is the bigger M5 Allen on the top, and then this is a 10. These are all 10s, all these nuts underneath it, there are 10s. Then you have 1 extra bolt with no nut. And I was like, okay, I hope this is threaded, and it is. So this is basically threaded here. You've got this long slot, so you can get it, you know, exactly where you want it to be, and then tighten this thing down. To do that, though, I did use, I believe it's the 14 on these 2 bolts that go into the headlight. Now, there is a rubber grommet also that goes in between the headlight housing and the arm that it attaches to. So you want to make sure you put that back. But just to make things super easy, I just took those 2 bolts off the side, and then this just threads right into this hole back here. So I'm going to get this tightened down. I'm going to get all these tightened down up here, and then get those tightened down, and then I'm going to put this back on and tighten it down. Also, I want to tighten down these because these are kind of loose on the sides there. So just check all your bolts, make sure that everything is tight, and then that will be the tray. Now, some other tips. Plugging in the cord up here, there was 1 cord that was not plugged in, but these cords have these arrows on them here, if you can see that. And essentially what you do is you line those up and you push them together. Now this one on this side was kind of tight, but now with this tray coming in, it actually pulled this whole wire bundle over, and it made it a lot easier to plug that in. Once I plugged that in, everything was fine. I've test driven this thing. It drives really great. It goes almost 30 miles an hour. It's pretty fast, pretty fun. So again, I'm going to tighten all this stuff down, and then we should be good. But so the pedals, of course, are marked left and right. You use the 15 mil wrench on them because they do have like flat spots on them in there. And then you tighten those down, turning them the direction of the arrows that are on the sort of pedal arm there. For the steps on the back, there are 2 bolts and then nuts that go with those. You just kind of have to, you know, squeeze those through, and then sometimes the step gets in the way, so it helps to pull it out. But really overall, that was pretty self-explanatory and not too bad to get those on. Then for the fender up here, there are these little sort of spring-loaded arms here. And you essentially, these screws were already on there. Those are one of the Allens. So use one of your tools that you get with the bike to pull those off. And then I put those into there, and then I put those back on. And then there's also a bolt and a nut that go up here to hold this sort of top fender holder. That thing just kind of loosely stays on there. That way, if it takes a hit or whatever, it's not going to hurt anything, but it's going to keep all the stuff from spraying up onto you as you're riding the bike. Other than that, you do want to make sure that you tighten up your reflector and your little screen here. The reflector takes a Phillips, and then the screen takes the smaller Allen head. And then after that, you do want to just put air in your tires. Now it says to air them up to 20. I've got a little compressor that lets me take them up to 20. You do get the pump with it that you could use by hand, but I just set my self-stopping pump to 20 and aired them up, and now they're perfect. One thing that I would like to note is that the chain feels pretty dry. Now that is, I think, typically how a chain is supposed to feel. It's supposed to feel kind of dry to the touch. So I believe that they do lubricate it. I'm sure that they do from the factory, but I did go ahead and buy some Finish Line dry lube. I saw it in a couple of videos online. It seems to be good stuff. So my kind of plan is, before I take this out and really ride it, is just to grease it really good with that, just to protect all the components and everything. If that's wrong, post up in the comments below and let me know. But, you know, again, I'm guessing that they lubricated it from the factory, but it just feels and looks really dry and like almost like bare metal. So just to be safe, I went ahead and bought that stuff. It was about 12 bucks for a bottle of it, and I'm just going to lube up the chain really good just to protect it. So let me finish getting this tray on here, and we'll get the headlight back on, and then the next time you see me, we will be riding the bike in the woods. All right, guys, so today I am out solo camping in my local national forest, and I brought the Movcan with me, and let me just say, this thing is fun. And I'm gonna cut in some video here of it in action on the dirt road. Just having a great time, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on it. Now that I've spent a few weeks with it, both in my neighborhood, riding it off-road a little bit, carrying it, getting it mounted on and off the truck, which I'll show you a little bit of too. If you're curious about how I transport this thing, I will put a card up here to another video that I did on a mount that I use for the bike. There'll also be a link in the description below to the hitch mount that I use, as well as the bike itself. But this thing is just awesome. And so I'm gonna walk you around it and kind of show you some of the features. And again, now that I'm more familiar with it and I've been using it a little bit, I wanted to just kind of show you all that stuff so that you get a good understanding of what you get when you get this bike and why I think this thing makes a ton of sense for the budget price that it is. I mean, I've seen a lot of e-bikes like this, and the old one that I used to have is like $1,700 now. This thing is significantly cheaper than that. So again, just want to kind of walk you around it, show you everything about the bike real quick, and give you my sort of final thoughts. All right, so as I mentioned, I've been kind of living with this thing for a little bit, getting a good idea for it. It's got dust all over it and stuff, which is fine. That's what's going to happen when you drive down, you know, gravel roads in the middle of nowhere and ride it. So totally fine. But, you know, you've got this nice big sort of motorcycle style headlight on the front here. This is the DRL, the surround part here, and then the middle is a really bright projector. What I always find with these bikes, though, is you can never have too much light. And why I say that is I actually had my old one at Overland Expo a couple of years ago, and driving it around at night after, you know, hanging out with some friends and having to go back to my campsite, there were some times where I'd come around a corner and I'd be like, oh no, there's a person there. So having more light is always better than less. This light is very sufficient though. It's better than the old one, the Ingwe that I had before, definitely brighter, but I had picked up this Phoenix bike light for my old bike, and so I just strapped that onto the new one. But so you can always do stuff like that, right? I like to customize stuff. I like to have it be, you know, meet my requirements and do the things that I wanted to do. So I added this Phoenix light, which has several different brightnesses. So you can make it super bright, you can make it dimmer, but on that super bright mode, it actually is very, very good. And I'll throw a card up here in the top right corner because I did a video on this light too. So if you want to see that as a potential addition to your Movcan bike, that may be a good thing to add, but it just basically bolts onto the crossbar here. So when you turn your steering wheel, the light turns just like your main headlight does, which is great. This does have 20-inch fat tires on it, so as you just saw in the video of me riding it, this thing rides super smooth even off-road. It's very stable, feels great even off-road. Here is your display, which I just think is super sharp. The old one that I had was like a kind of a mono color, did not display a lot of information. You know, this one shows you the miles that you've ridden. It shows you the trip miles. It shows you your speed. These are your passive augment, so that you hit the plus and minus buttons over here to turn up and down this setting for more boost. Basically, I always just put it on 5 and I leave mine in the 3rd gear. You do have a 7-speed over here, a Shimano 7-speed that you can adjust. So if you are pedaling this like a bike, you know, you can work it just like a bike. You can shift through your gears and stuff depending on whether you're going uphill, downhill. I kind of just leave mine in the middle so I don't have to mess with it a whole lot, and then I just let the electric batteries do all of it for me. Now you've got front and rear brakes that work great. You've also got a way to turn on your headlights. So when you flip that, that is how you turn on the projector there. That's how you turn it off. You've also got turn signals, which my old bike did not have. So down here you can hit that, and it will turn on your left little LED sequential turn signal, which is cool. Or you can put it in the middle for it to be off, or you can put it to the right, and that will turn on your right turn signal. So this bike is totally street legal. I mean, it is a bicycle. It is an electric powered bicycle, but it is a bicycle. And then you've got this little horn. So it just makes that little noise to warn people that you're coming. But that is pretty much the bulk of the controls on the left side here. Now on the right side, what I like is this has a half twist throttle. So my old bike had a full twist handle. And the reason that a half twist is so nice is because just by holding onto the bike, sometimes I would accidentally twist it, right? And then all of a sudden it'd take off on me and I'd be like, oh no, like you got to be really careful with how you hold it. With this, you can rest your palm and your hand on it, and then you can just turn the half twist handle here in the middle, which gives you more control over the bike and the acceleration, stuff like that. So of course, I already talked about this a little bit when I was assembling this thing, but this is a dual battery model. So I like the style of this, that it kind of looks like a motorcycle-ish. But you've got these 2 batteries, which are both lockable. So you can remove these things if you want to for security. If you're leaving it somewhere, or, you know, locking it up somewhere and you don't want to risk getting your batteries stolen, you can just pop those off with the key and take them inside. And then you can easily pop them right back on. Now, as far as suspension, you've got this dual fork style up here that does absorb a ton of bumps. And then you've got this integrated rear shock, and it does look like it has a tiny bit of adjustability to it. I have not messed with it. I'm just basically riding it. But again, not trying to compare it a ton to my old bike, but my old bike was kind of bouncy. It felt a little sketchy, especially on like bouncy back roads and stuff, this thing feels really, really stable and sturdy, and it's really nice to drive and control. So I like that about it. I like this big long seat. I like the fact that it has these fold out pegs on the back here, because again, my primary use for this is just for fun when I'm out camping like this, or when I go to expos and stuff. And there are often times where, you know, a buddy may say, hey, can you take me back up to my truck? And on the old bike, I was like, no, I can't do that. There wasn't really a way, but now someone can hop on the back, they can put their feet down on the pegs, and you could easily transport another person, you know, around camp. So I like the form factor of this bike, and I think it's a sharp looking bike too. It's just a good looking bike. So those are kind of my thoughts on the Movcan. The more time that I spend with it, the more that I like it, and so I just wanted to share it with you guys. Of course, as I mentioned, there will be a link in the description to the bike itself. I'll put a link to the Phoenix Lite as well. So those are my thoughts on the Movcan bike. All right, guys, so that will do it for the Movcan bike assembly. Overall thoughts on the thing, off-roading. This thing is just a blast. It's a ton of fun. So if you're looking for kind of a toy, for something to, you know, make your trips easier, to give you something to do once you set all your stuff up at camp, if you're an overlander like me and you set everything up and then you can't really go anywhere, this gives you some flexibility for that. It's great for expos. It's great for kids sporting events. It's just a ton of fun. And again, for the money, it's very inexpensive for what you get. One thing that I did forget to mention is this bike also has cruise control built into it, which I haven't played with a ton, but that is wild to me. Like, if you were, there are often times where I'm driving from somewhere to another place and I just don't want to have to mess with the throttle. You can just set the cruise control and it will automatically keep you at that speed, which is pretty awesome. So I haven't seen that on any other e-bikes, at least not any that I've had or ridden before. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So this thing has everything pretty much and is a super nice bike for the money. So again, just wanted to share it with you. Links in the description below. Post up in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you have another e-bike, a similar e-bike, if you use this e-bike, let me know what you think about it. I'd love to hear from you. But as always, there will be links in the description below to all my social channels. So wherever you want to come hang out, join the conversation. There's cool pictures of this bike over on Instagram. Definitely check that out. I'd love to have you wherever you want to follow along. There's also a join button below this video, which is just sort of a passive way to support the channel. It gets you early access to the videos and some other perks. But if you want to be more involved with all things overlanding, there's also a link to my Patreon page. And the Patreon is awesome. We've got over 30 guys in it now, and we are talking every day in a Discord. We have a 24/7 Discord where we share memes and jokes and stuff. We talk about gear, we sell stuff, help each other sell stuff. We help each other with builds and things like that. So it's a ton of fun. Definitely consider checking that out. There's also a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or I hate people so I camp. So if that sounds good, check that out and definitely pick up some for yourself. And then last but not least, there's a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group, which is a totally free to join group that I run, where we keep the bullies out, we keep the self-promotion out. It's just like a clean experience. If you want to talk about overlanding or learn about overlanding, any of that sort of stuff, definitely consider checking that out. But again, thanks so much for watching. Hope that was helpful. Click that like button if it was, and we'll see you next time.